All right, welcome back. Another instant reaction, Warriors versus Rockets. We have a special guest on today. Errol, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, all right, what's up? My name's Errol. Known Brandon Taylor forever. Excited. I've been begging to get on the pod for a minute and shit, I'm here, I'm ready.
Okay, so just to recap,
Glad to have you, gang.
Rockets just beat the Warriors 106 to 96. Um, Taylor, you want to start us off just with just your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts is the Rockets, they got some hoopers. They might not have that guy, but just defensively, they honestly look so impressive, just how they're hounding Steph. Maybe there was maybe some fouls, you can say they got away with some stuff, but at the end of the day, they look like the better team. They're hounding Steph. Amen Thompson's athletic freak, just deflections on this, deflections on that. And I feel like they just outstrengthed us
Hmm.
basically. And it was also, we didn't shoot well. Curry had a game that he probably will never have. But it's basically it just feels like they just out hustled, outstrength, outbigged us, if that makes sense. Just overpowered us in physicality, they out physicaled us. If I don't know, that bad wording, but
Yeah. And what was I telling? I was telling you though, Jalen Green can close. I was telling
Yeah.
you, Jalen
yeah.
Green can close. He's been really
That's
good at closing in certain spots this season. He was really good to close the game. I mean, he had like two threes. He was just going at Steph, hit a couple step back middies, and he was just getting to his spots and he was knocking those mid ranges down. But I thought Dylan Brooks had another really good game too.
Yeah.
I mean, his role that he's been playing for Houston has been just amazing. You know, obviously his defense always gonna be there, but I mean,
Mhm.
just as a catch and shoot, just he's been knocking down his threes at a pretty good rate this season. Um, I mean, what's he shooting? He's shooting 39% from three this season. So I think he's just been just a really great addition. And I mean, you just saw him again tonight. He was another person that I thought was really being aggressive and imposing his will down below, especially from the beginning of the game. He got a couple quick just post back down turnaround shots. And I thought that just really set the stage for the game. But
I
Arrow,
agree.
Yeah, for sure. I thought like honestly like this last week, like there's been like a recurring star and it's been like Podziemski. I mean, Podziemski played really good today. He's probably the only good bright spot out of Jimmy played all right. He had like 13. I mean, out of the starting lineup, he was by far the best player. Kuminga played pretty solid. I know he gets a lot of hate because he has like tunnel vision and all that bullshit, but I think he stepped up. He made some good rebounds. Looney, I thought he was good. I know we really struggled against Şengün. I think he had a double double today. I mean, he's a really good player, but he's one of the better
I
centers in
don't
the
think he
league.
played that good, to be honest.
yeah,
He
I was gonna
did.
say I don't think he played that
He had
good.
He was
14.
missing
I
free
mean,
throws, missing bunnies.
I have to
I
culturally,
know
I'm
because of
obliged to glaze him, but yeah, he
there's
did. I mean,
a certain ethnicity that's in between
yeah, that might have. I won't
relatable.
say he's bad, but he did get most of his points from free throws.
He
And
actually
like
did. I think
he
Errol,
was 5 for 10. I mean, he only had 17, 14 points, right? Oh
I
no, he had.
predict
He
a
had
19.
19. He had
Oh no, never mind, never mind.
Errol, bro, you're not locked in, bro.
I'm not locked in. No, but he played good though. Like I'm still say he played good, but and then obviously he played good. He had some really like freakish dunks and like layups. And and Jalen Green at the end, like he was kind of struggling in the first half, but he kind of got his shit together. That's something like Steph couldn't do.
A man was everywhere, bro. Like,
Yeah,
so
Loki.
he could have had like, I mean, there was just times where he almost got like three other steals that were just some crazy plays. But yeah, no, he was everywhere, just on both,
Everywhere.
literally everywhere. But that really impressed me.
He
But
was a plus 26.
yeah, just I wanted to hear what do you guys think about those fouls, like specifically the flagrant that was caught on Draymond that with the elbow, he's going up for the layup. Cause yeah, obviously there's a lot of time left after that, but that was a big play that happened, big swing play. But
Honestly, a big worry for me, whatever, we lost the game, we didn't shoot well, they played well. The biggest worry I got from this game is just I know it sounds messed up and you're gonna want to let Draymond be this aggressive, but I just feel like it seemed like Steve Kerr's too scared to like talk. He put some sense into Draymond, like because Draymond, like realistically, like I feel like this game could get ejected just for this, going crazy and
yeah.
stuff. And like in this game, like you can't like Draymond can't have five fouls, that early. And Steve Kerr just seemed like didn't like I don't want to say keep him in check because that makes him like he's a grown adult at the end of the day. But it's just like I don't know if hopefully in the it just that's a worry for me is if Steve Kerr will, that's always been a thing with Draymond, but just this game it seemed like he also played like bad because I feel like he was too emotionally invested,
Hmm.
too angry. And sometimes that benefits him, he plays better. But this game it did not benefit him. And yeah, so that's basically one of my worries. I don't know what you guys have to
You
think.
think that was a flagrant though, or
No.
No, I don't think that was a
yeah,
flagrant.
okay,
It was a
yeah.
foul though. The
Yeah, he low-key flopped. I mean, like,
the
I
Warriors
that's what
announcers,
I thought. I mean, I would want to see the replay. I literally didn't see unless his elbow hit him like in the very initial beginning when he went up. I didn't see his
I
elbow
see
hit him at
anything.
all.
That's still my boy, but like, yeah, Şengün was low-key flopping. Like, so he like, there's a one time when Draymond went up, but there's the other time when they're inbounding the ball and Şengün flopped again. I don't know if you
Oh,
remember that
with the
play.
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like Şengün low-key flopped 2 times and got Draymond like he probably had to be at because he had five at the end of the first half, right?
I don't. He didn't get a personal for that one though, because it was a he just got a tech. I don't think they gave
Oh
him.
yeah,
It
he
was, it
did
was a
get a
team
tech for
foul,
that. He
but
was
still,
going crazy during that. He was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He was just like
yeah,
going,
yeah, because he missed the free throw. Yeah,
yeah, no, I remember that. He was like going insane.
yeah.
yeah. I guess there's a lot. I have one positive. Is there any positive you guys see from the Warriors? My positive
I
is,
oh, sorry, my bad.
what are you gonna say? I
No, no,
think it
no.
might
You
be
say
one.
yours, and I'll say mine.
It's actually, we've been talking about him, but Buddy Hield actually
Mm.
had a solid game. He had six threes, and we needed it. He kind of kept us in the game because scoring wise, Kuminga wasn't really, he had some bad turnovers. I
Mm.
wouldn't say he was a positive player. Curry was getting locked up. It was Pods and Buddy Hield but Pods has been good, for a while, but Buddy Hield was like a lucky surprise.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a positive. It's hard for me to say that's positive. Maybe I'm a little biased just because like just some of the shots he was taking. I know he started hitting a lot in the second half, but just that
Uh-huh.
one in the first half I thought was just awful. I really hated
I
that
know, I know
shot.
what you're talking about.
Like I know he was heat checking, but it was like I'd rather him just shoot that right off the catch and shoot when you know what I'm talking about when Steph just
I
passes.
I don't get why he doesn't
Yeah,
just he always dribbles
like
when
it
he
would have been a good contest by Jalen Green, but like especially if he's quote unquote hot like that, like that contest not gonna matter. He's not gonna block that. So I'd rather him just shoot that right away. Instead, he pump faked and then took like a contested fadeaway long two. Like ended up being a two, but he missed it. But yeah, he did play well. He shot well, especially in the second half. Um, for me, a positive. I thought at times there was just our defense is just you're really seeing it over these stretch of games, especially against just perennial playoff teams, some of the best teams in the league. Our defense is just it's just elite, and I think that's a bright spot. But that was the one thing for me. The negative for me was something I mentioned to you on the pod before that I was worried about. Specifically when we talked about the OKC matchup was just the turnovers that we have, especially the
yeah, yeah,
forced
yeah.
ones. Like you saw it today. Like I know there's a lot of things that went into the loss. Like if Steph just has like a decent game, there's a chance we probably win this, or at least we're in it more. Like we were really in it till the end still. But I mean 3 points, 1 for 10. So it's crazy
Mhm.
that we're still in it. That's how well I think everyone else kind of played. But that was something that just really like got us behind in the game and just was really big swing factors. You know, we were just turning the ball over bad, and it was leading to just like wide open layups on the other side. And just in playoff games, I think that's something that could just really kill us, and it's gonna
I
be
agree.
really bad.
I have a question for Errol.
Hmm.
Şengün's, a good fair player of yours because, it's Turkish and that
But
means
you gotta tell the audience that they don't know.
Oh
oh yeah,
yeah,
Errol,
yeah.
what's your
I'm half Turkish,
Şengün?
so you gotta root culturally. Even though he had an okay-ish game, I'll say it's a good game. Got a little pressed about it earlier, but yeah,
I was gonna ask you guys, I know they're the 2 seed, but they don't have that quote unquote star.
yeah.
Are the Rockets, could you see them making I feel like contenders is just a crazy maybe that's hating, but I can't see them being contenders. Could you see them making a Western Conference Finals?
I low-key can't see it because like I see what you're saying. Like they don't have like an I mean, like they have like a really good supporting cast with like Jalen Green,
Hmm.
Ahmed Thompson, and like Alperen Şengün. And like Şengün's an all-star, but like he doesn't have like that it factor. Like I think he struggled a lot against the Warriors today, and I think that's pretty like I think that kind of says a lot. Like I don't know how well that'll go in the Western Conference Final. I haven't really watched him against other bigs. Like I don't know how he do against like Jokic or how he do against like who's the other good big? I don't know, someone like that. Like I don't know how he'll do against them, but he played. I don't think they'll ever be a contender. I can see them making it. I can't. I don't know. it really depends about who they play. In my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't see them making it. I think though, like depending on who they, I think they're just gonna give anyone that they play a tough matchup though. Like I don't see them just being an easy out in any round. But
Yeah.
I could see them. If we played, if like we were to end up playing them in the second round somehow, I could see that going to like 6 or 7. I could see that being a really tough matchup.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
yeah.
A big shout out to just Ime Udoka, the coach. He just has them playing like
Yeah.
ever. They just play hard, like he really has them like hooping like on defense. I was so impressed. Like they're flying everywhere. It's a big Amen is what we already mentioned. He's flying everywhere. But even Jalen Green wasn't known as a defender early on in his career. He looks solid on defense. Şengün's not known as a defender, but he's doing his thing. Tari Eason's a dog on defense. Even Van Vliet's only 6 foot tall, but he was, great giving Curry issues. And then of course, even though he's kind of hated, but Dylan Brooks is an elite, like all defensive level player. So defensively, I think exactly they'll always give teams, worries, but making a finals push or something like that, it might be hard just because they don't have like a top 10 player.
Yeah. No, for sure. Do you think him training for like? Do you see him like training for like a superstar? Kind of like how like the Lakers traded for Luca.
I hope they don't like. I hope they don't trade for KD, to be honest, just because if it's Giannis, maybe I feel like that might be worth
Mm.
it. But KD, it just no, hey, it just doesn't seem like he's. I guess the Suns, he didn't really elevate them. Maybe if you don't have to give up much, but like
But yeah, they would have to break up a lot of their core.
exactly, that's why I wouldn't love it, to be honest.
Yeah. I
Like
would.
You see, do you
Sorry,
see Giannis staying on the mat on the Bucks?
that's
uh,
interesting.
I don't know.
Because
I hope he
they've been pretty
does.
mid this season, right?
Um, Dame got hurt, but
Yeah.
maybe to the Rockets. What were we gonna say, Brain?
I was gonna bring up something about Jimmy, just because from what I've seen, and I don't know what it is, but he just doesn't seem to want to. He's not being aggressive at all in my
Yeah,
eyes, especially at certain times. Like it just seems like teams are really conceding like basically like a mid-range free throw jump shot to him like a bunch of times, and it's just he's not even looking to put it up, and it's like just to me, I was wondering that because like I understand the three-pointers, like that's not his specialty. He's not going to be shooting like a bunch of them even if he's left open, but just when he's around the key and like just free throw line extend, it's just like I don't know. I'm expecting him to put those up and like hit him at a high rate, but it doesn't even look like he's looking to shoot them at all.
I know he only took 7 shots. I'm kind of worried. I don't know. He has the forearm issue, so I don't know if that's the thing that's bothering him. Because you say a playoff Jimmy, like we expect him to, make a difference, but like this is like a playoff level game. This felt like the playoffs, and he didn't play bad. He played well defensively, and he doesn't make many mistakes. But it's just when Curry's, getting shut down like this, you need Jimmy to get 20, 25 points and just, keep him in the game. Because you don't know if we can get, you don't like, Pods is great, but you don't know if he's going to do this every night in the playoffs. Buddy Hield, might not get 20, or no, he's not going to get 20 every night in the playoffs. So that's why you trade for Jimmy. Kaminga also, I wouldn't say he was terrible. He was grabbing rebounds. He had a couple of really bad turnovers, but he needs to also be a guy that can get you, 15, 20 points.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Like, I don't know, like I don't know, like we really need like it kind of like showed like what we are as Steph as a step up. Like Jimmy, like he's like I don't know that something Steve Kerr's been telling him, but like just drive and pass it out, drive and pass it out, because he's always looking for an open person. Like I saw him like he passed it to Gary Payne a bunch. Like yeah, actually Gary Payne actually played pretty good today. I think he
Yeah,
had
really good
he had
game.
16 points, but he took like 5 3-pointers and he missed like most like he was 2 for 5, which isn't like horrible. But like they were like and I was kind of like fucked us over because like he would miss some of them. But like he's really just like looking to push it out more.
Yeah, no, I thought Payton played a lot of good minutes. And I mean, those threes, you're gonna kind of live with them because like every single one is open,
Yeah.
we're like
It's not like he's
open,
not taking any bad
and,
shots.
and most of them were like corner looks. So obviously, I mean, you'd like them. I mean, it's hard to say you like how they hit them more, but yeah, I mean, Other than that, I thought he played a really good game. A lot of this just comes down to like how Steph played tonight. Like I think everyone, for the most part, had a really good game. There's a lot of good minutes going around, and
Mhm.
I mean, Steph just had a really poor game. Um, yeah, I mean, I just, obviously shooting. He was 1 for 10, 1 for 8 from three. At times, I mean, they were just hounding him, so it seemed like he just wasn't involved at all, you know. And I guess I mean it did open a lot of just things up for other people because they were keen on him, but
Yeah.
sometimes doubling them. But yeah, I mean it's just tough when that's happening. Do you guys think that could be an issue if more teams play like just keying on Steph like that and like just basically just not like denying the ball? Think that could be an issue?
I think I mean today the Rockets did a good job, but there was in the first like Gary Payne had like he's wide open layups basically. So like I feel like that's not like like possible. And Moody didn't shoot well either. I feel like you can do that. Maybe that is a game plan that I think a lot of teams will use. But when they do that, like yeah, like Gary Payne would be wide open, and maybe that is something that will work. But I don't think it's a sustainable thing, just because of how like the Warriors role players like the Warriors actually have really good role players. So it's not like I don't want to throw a shot, but like say the Knicks, they don't have the best, bench or they have a good role players, but they don't have the best bench. I guess
Good
that's
players.
not a good analogy. But basically saying like the Warriors have players around Steph that, in a 7 game series, I think if you do that, they will, make the other teams pay.
Do you think though, like I guess that, a lot of that has to just do with the matchup too. Like Houston has a bunch of bodies they could
Yeah,
throw.
yeah.
Like another team is OKC. I think that could do that too. So are
Ibaka.
you worried specific? Because I'm a little worried about that. If we like matching up against the Rockets or OKC, it's like they have the bodies to do that. Both of those teams are, I mean, top five just in terms of just defense in the NBA. So and
Yeah.
it's, I think because both of those teams just have the personnel to do that and potentially like really just take stuff out the game and. How do you just see that playing out in a 7 game series if like if that's the case?
What do you think, girl? I'll
Low
pass.
key, like just talking about our bench, like one player I really like that's coming off our bench is Guy Santos. I really like the energy he brings in the game. Like kind of like a little energizer buddy, a little energizer bunny. He only played 4 minutes today, but I feel like we look at him a little bit more.
Me Santos shout out.
Yeah,
He has been good. I
yeah.
don't I don't know if he'll get minutes like that in the
Playoffs, he'll probably like a short
playoffs.
Well, because
rotation.
today his only minutes were at the end, right? When the game was.
Yeah,
Because nah, he got minutes when Kaminga threw like a couple bad
Oh,
turnovers.
when he got the turnover, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if Gui Santos because he's more of like a hustle guy instead of like a scorer. It's basically like, bro, that's one thing we taught me and Brain texted about. Like, Kaminga got to get himself like an ankle brace because every game seems like he tweaking his ankle or something.
Yeah.
He needs to be, if Jimmy's not being that second option, Kaminga needs to be that. Well, it looks like Paz has been like that, but Kaminga needs to be a 15 point per game scorer because he's not really a passer. He's playing solid defense and grabbing rebounds, but he needs to be able to score the ball, defend well, and rebound the ball, especially if we want to win a championship and if he wants to get paid. So he needs to step up.
I'm honestly really concerned though, especially like if we were to match up against the Rockets or the Thunder. Just specifically, 'cause I think of it in terms of like how Anthony Davis used to like the Lakers used to always give us problems just because of the Anthony Davis presence in the paint. They would sort of like top block Steph and like just funnel everything to the paint, and it was just so
Trying to
hard
catch
until
up
we
to
start.
that.
Because for whatever reason, we don't. I mean, we've done it more now, but we never used to like really running pick and roll with Steph, like high pick and roll, like
They're
consistent.
starting to do it a lot more though.
Well, they over the past 2 seasons they've started to do it a lot more, but
Mhm.
but like we just never used to do it like consistently a lot. Like we would always do it a little bit, get away from it, and then
It's because
that
Steve Kerr loves that. What's
yeah
that? The motion offense, pass it to the in the
yeah.
post screen, which is a good offense, but in the playoffs, you're gonna have to do a lot of Curry, Jimmy pick and roll, Curry, Draymond short roll, Curry, Gary Payne's a solid pick and roll, or even Curry Kuminga. That's a play that solid pick and roll. So I think that they'll feast on that. But they also just double Curry and hedge. But then that's why you have a Jimmy or Draymond in the short roll that can make any decision.
That's why I just
no, I
mentioned
was like,
it
oh wait,
in terms of like the Lakers and what Anthony they did with Anthony Davis and why it was always a problem for us. I see that like potentially being a big problem for us with the matchup like a OKC or
Yeah,
Houston.
yeah.
because like they have the personnel, the bodies to do this, and it's just you could say it's just one game, and obviously like even if they do this again, I don't think Steph shoots this bad, but I mean, it's just when teams are doing this and just getting Steph disengaged, it just our offense just seems to like for a long period of time become so stagnant, and it's just especially if pay like if our players aren't hitting open shots. Like in the beginning, we had a lot of good open looks that we ended up missing. It's just like it can be a real big problem because then we just don't gain any momentum. Just the flow of the game, our offense just it's hard for us to just put up any points. And I can see that being a real problem for us, depending on the matchup though. That's what I'm.
I
I
agree.
was looking thinking is that like the Mavs looking to play this good this season, and like they could Loki be in a running for Cooper Flag. Like let's say they get like I don't know what the chances of them getting the number one pick. Let's just speak in a
Wait, you
hypothetical.
said who?
The
Cooper
math.
Flag. We're speaking purely
Mavs?
hypothetical. Like let's say they get
Yeah,
Flag,
literally.
right? Do you see them trading like Daniel Gafford or Derek Lively and like the Warriors Loki getting them?
I don't think the Warriors. I think with post like that's okay. That was actually a good ass. I think with post like emerging, and then you still want to play Draymond at the five. I just don't see like financially how they could do it. Just because I know Daniel Gafford's not making much, but like, who would you trade for Daniel Gafford? Maybe it would be Moody. The Moody would be the only person, and I think you just need spacing with Jimmy, especially. I don't know. It depends. Actually, I mean, it depends what you do with Kaminga. It's gonna be hard for Kaminga, it looks like, to stay here just because of his fit and the money he's gonna make. But Daniel Gafford or Derek Lively going to the Warriors, I don't know about that. I don't. Maybe Braden, you have a good answer for that.
I don't really see some. That'd be interesting if that. I don't see how that gets pulled off though. But
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we're on the conversation, we could talk about the Duke game yesterday. Um, if you,
Oh, that
I
was
mean, that what
that
I
was
know
bad.
this is probably a little recency bias, but that's got to be like one of the biggest chokes of all time, right? Right.
It was like six in like 40 seconds or something.
Yeah, they were up 47-41 with like ended up being 30, like it was 32 seconds left and they had like were inbounding the ball.
Yeah, that was bad.
Or
That was
they were up because they hit a three. So they were up by three with 30 seconds left, 32 seconds left, and the shot clock's 30. So
yeah, that's and I saw after the game, like their big man, he's 7'2". He's probably gonna be a top 10 pick. He had 0 rebounds at 7'2". Their starting center.
Oh, for Duke?
Yeah,
Dude,
Malawat.
wasn't he a hella high prospect? Like he was
Yeah,
international, right?
he's gonna be a top 5 pick. I think like he's or not top. He'll be a top 10 pick, like most likely. He can move well for his size, but having 0 rebounds in this game was crazy. But that choke job, yeah, I don't. I
yeah,
think it's because I don't watch games like this, but they're saying like Houston's been in a lot of close games, so they have the experience. But like Duke basically blew everyone out, so they didn't have the
but I mean,
experience.
like, does that really have an effect on you not being in? You just have to inbound the ball one time and the game's basically over. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
it's with the 30-second shot clock, especially. It's like you're up by three. So they hit a three, which okay, they hit the three. So you're up by three now with 32 seconds left, 30 seconds on the shot clock. So it's like they have to foul. You know what I mean? Like you just got to inbound the ball one time. Couldn't even do that. They got, I think the dude missed a three and then they got like fouled or a layup. I forgot. And then you guys get fouled and you miss the free throw. That's just bad.
yeah,
So
pretty bad. I'm not
that was
gonna.
just, and then Cooper Flag missed the game winner. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
that's just,
like the only party game I saw. I was in Santa Barbara yesterday. And I was just like driving back and like this dude I was sitting next to in the car was like, "Yo, like Duke's choking the lead right now." And I look, you saw it was like it wasn't a bad play. I mean, he just like missed the mid range.
oh, the Cooper Flag shot.
Hey, that was a good
Yeah,
shot.
it's
Oh
like
no, that's the shot you
yeah, it was
want.
a
Like
good
he got
shot.
to his spot. That was a great move. He got to his spot. I mean, he just missed it. So yeah. I mean,
You got to live with that
trying to
one.
live with that. Yeah. But it's just everything else. It was bad. But.
Yep, yep, yep.
What do you guys think about just because the standings right now?
I'm
Clippers are
looking
five
right now.
seed now. So the Denver lost. That's another team that's kind of because those non-Jokic men
Den
are
Denver's
rough.
lost their last four, and their schedule is not like very. They play. Well, they play the Kings, who they're not very good, but they're gonna play their guys. You know what I mean?
They beat
Uh,
the Cavs today.
yeah, and they don't have Jamal Murray has been out for a while. I'm kind of concerned about that because these games are important, so it's not like some rest stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's actually got to be injured. They play the Grizzlies and the Rockets. I think will probably rest their players by that time because I think they'll have their 2 seed.
Yeah.
But the Kings and the Grizzlies, especially if they don't have Jamal Murray, the Nuggets might fall in the play-in. So that might be tough. What do you guys think about? Because I'm a little worried about it. What do you guys think about if we played the Clippers our first round?
I think that's another team that could. I mean, that's going to be a tough series.
I wouldn't love that.
It's going to be another tough, huh?
I said I wouldn't love that at all. The
Yeah, it would
Clippers.
be another tough series. I mean, just a Ty Lue coach team's always just
Yeah.
tough series, and we just always have problems against them, especially with Kawhi like playing back to like prime form basically. Like he's been
Mhm.
playing extremely well, and I mean that's just going to be another tough team because yeah, I mean
Because that kind of seems like a realistic. I mean, honestly, anything's an option, but
yeah,
I can see that being a 4-5 matchup, and just Zubac always seems to fry the Warriors.
I
You
mean
know,
he did.
because we don't have the big, and then Kawhi looking this healthy. That's not very. And they got some guys on. They can put Chris Dunn. They can put Derrick Jones Jr. They don't have the Thunder or Rockets level athletes and stuff, but Chris Dunn you will bother him, and then Derrick Jones got size and stuff and length, so that usually bothers Curry.
I think we're down in the season series, right? Because
Um,
we went to one of the games that they
yeah,
played. Remember
probably
that? See,
did.
that's what I'm saying. We always say we lost that one. They just always give us problems. Because I know
That
we
was
lost two against them for sure. I don't know if we won the other one,
that
but
was freaking what was that dude's name? That was when he was Lindy Waters season. I was like,
yeah. Because that was the very
Oh, I
beginning.
remember that. Man.
yeah, remember that era? Lindy Waters
Yeah, I
season?
remember that. Dude, who's the other dude that's going off? Fuck.
He wasn't even going off. Steve Kerr just
No,
like,
there's another dude in the beginning of the season. I was like, hell tough, but he got injured and we traded him.
oh, D'Anthony Melton.
Yeah, I remember D'Anthony Melton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
look thought he was tough. That's a long time ago.
We're
Shit.
0-3 against the Clippers this year. Oof. Oof, oof, oof.
Oh, so we
But
lost
yeah,
the other one. I knew we had two. Dang. Yeah. So I mean that would be just a tough matchup to be honest. Yeah. Well, I would.
But actually, I don't know how, because honestly, that last game of the season is going to determine a lot. So I
Yeah.
don't. So say Minnesota and Memphis keeps winning. I wouldn't mind playing Minnesota and Memphis first round, or I wouldn't not mind it, but I think that'd be more favorable than
We could honestly that could end up determining who gets bounced to the play-in and who's the fifth seed. To be
yeah,
honest,
the
it
Clippers.
literally could be because let's just say it ended like how it is right now. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
possible, but like Clippers are five, we're six.
Hmm.
But like we're tied with Memphis and Minnesota right now, record-wise, but we have the tiebreaker. So like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? So if it somehow ended like this, if that was possible, and like the winner of that game would like get bounced to like the eighth seed, and then the
Do you
winner.
know how it works? Say because there might be a bunch of tiebreakers. Say like the Warriors have the tiebreaker against Denver, but then Denver has the tiebreaker against the Clippers, and they all have the same record. Do you know how that works? Like what seed goes? Because like what seed
Oh, if
goes?
you're saying like it's like kind of that loop where it's like
Yeah,
one.
yeah, like
Oh yeah, I actually don't know how that works. Um,
maybe I think it might have to do with I
with
don't
is it division? I feel
I
like
think it's division. I don't think it's point differential. I think it's
I think it's
division.
division. Like there's it goes down like a certain. It would be division, and if that's tied, then it might go to. I don't know if it's
Is it
point differential.
conference? Because if it's division, the Warriors are not looking too good. Hopefully it's conference. If
Who has what kind of scenario would that like happen? What were you thinking?
well, I know we have the tiebreaker against Memphis. I'm trying to check right now if we have the tiebreaker against the Nuggets.
Don't. We
It's
lost like three.
did we?
Yeah.
Uh, I
Well,
know
the only
we only
one we
won the
won was
last
the
one.
one the other day.
yeah.
So okay, so the Warriors don't really have the tiebreaker against anyone, to be honest. They have it
Oh
against
yeah, it's
oh,
division.
they have it against Minnesota and Memphis, I think. I believe so.
Okay.
So say the Warriors are tied with Minnesota and the Clippers. I don't know if the Clippers have the Minnesotas, whatever.
Well, but
Like,
that's just how it is right now. Like it has Clippers. They're all 46 and 32 right now. All four of them. And Clippers
okay,
are five, Warriors are six, Minnesota seven, Memphis
okay.
eight.
So I see what they're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The Warriors. Wait. Um. Yeah, the Nuggets had the thing against the Warriors. Damn.
Well, I literally think the only team we because we would have yeah, it's just Minnesota and Memphis. Like
Yeah,
we
Memphis.
don't have it against the Lakers. We don't have it against Denver. We don't have it against the Clippers.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're so that last Clippers game is basically going to determine.
That could really, yeah, that could determine it.
Well, we have to, the Warriors have to take, it's not it's Phoenix and Portland, but they still have, or no, it's Phoenix
San Antonio and
and
Portland.
Portland. So they still have to take
We
care of
gotta
business.
win out.
Yeah,
But
you have to win
we
out.
definitely have to win these next three we can't lose going into that Clippers game.
No, you can't lose.
Yeah. Especially because all three of these are winnable games. But
Yeah, but I mean, not don't jinx it, but yeah.
Arrow, I wanted to, or both you guys, but what first round, what are just some first round matchups in, we could go West first that you would just love to see in the West take place, some first round matchups.
I talked about this, Arrow, so you talk about it.
Low key, I don't. It's kind of hard to say because somehow I'm not playing because you're talking about how the Nuggets could drop. Like somehow, some way we could play against the Nuggets without Jamal Murray. That'd be pretty good. I mean, Jokic has been going insane. I think he had like 41, 12, and 13 today, which is pretty crazy. So he's like, and then other than that, they weren't looking really that good. Another team, fuck. Yeah, Loki, I just think the Nuggets. The Nuggets would be my number one for sure.
Okay, for us to play. What about
Yeah.
just, I'm just talking about, what about in general, just like as a fan?
Like a fun matchup.
Oh, like a fun
Yeah,
matchup?
just any of the matchups in the West, like that you'd want to see first round, like just some matchups. Yeah.
Loki, is that even possible? Lakers Thunder? No,
Like
no, no. Wait,
not
the
first
Lakers
round,
are
but
too
like
high of a
later
seed. The
on.
Lakers are too high of a seed. That would be a fun matchup to watch later on in the playoffs if that happens. But Lakers Thunder, another one that could be pretty cool would be honestly, dude, I low-key wish the Mavs were better. Seeing kind of like that series if the Mavs could play the Lakers, but probably Lakers Mavs. I don't know, Lakers Lakers Thunder. Um, yeah, it's pretty much. Oh, maybe the Grizzlies. I like watching the Grizzlies and the Warriors. They always have like a really, they're always really fun to watch in the playoff time.
I wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah, I like it just sucks that Kyrie got hurt because the Mavs would have been I mean, they could on it, that would have changed the whole thing in the West because
I
they
would have
might not even,
everything.
they probably wouldn't even be this low because I don't remember what they were they top six before he got hurt or I know they were hovering around seven,
I
but
think they're around 7 or 8.
I
But
mean with
they didn't have AD though.
yeah, yeah, but like
They would damn near be. I think I would be the most scared of. That's a maybe bold
I
take,
would
but I'd be more scared of them than any other team in the West, just because of how, like we said, Anthony Davis against the Warriors, and then you have
no
Kyrie,
100% and then yeah.
and then you have shooters around that. And they are other bigs like, say they're fully healthy. I'm saying,
Hmm.
but they just got destroyed by injury. I think they could say they get the 8 seed. I don't know how possible that is. I think they're not very, but I think Anthony Davis can get a game or two against OKC, maybe, maybe not actually. But it's too bad that Kyrie got hurt.
Hmm. Hey, the Zoom's about to end. What
Yeah,
y'all trying to still, is there stuff you still guys want to talk about? Or,
I'm done, but I'll talk if y'all have anything else.
no, not really. I had like a pretty fun time on it.
okay.
Uh, it was good having you on, Arrow. Definitely
Thank you
watch
guys for
that.
watching. Yeah, this is our guest Arrow. Let us know if you guys want to see him more. Um, but we're gonna,
Repost, like, shout us out, comment,
yep.
everything.
Just stay tuned for all the instant reactions we continue to do, and we're gonna have another full pod once the seeding playoff seeding scenarios all come out and stuff, and we'll be talking about it.
Yeah.
But peace. Till then.
All right, peace.